Well, hello everyone. So do you ever find yourself getting frustrated with your teenager because you feel like they just don't listen to you or nothing that you say ever makes a difference? Well, this week I had a perspective pop up that may provide you some insight or some relief around this topic. So let's check it out. Well, hello again, everyone. My name is Jim White, and I'm an author, coach, and the founder of the Family Enrichment Academy. But more importantly, I'm a parent just like you. Well, today we're going to be talking about some ideas that may help you get through that frustration that you may experience if you feel like your teenager just doesn't listen to you, or any of the things that you say to them just don't ever seem to affect the way they behave or the way they act. Well, I've got, again, a shift in perspective that may help you to get through that frustration. Before we get to that though, I did want to let you know I do have a free resource for you. I have 10 questions you should never ask your teenager. Think of these as like conversation killers. And then I also have 10 great questions as well. These are the conversation starters. And this resource, it's available on our website at familyenrichmentacademy.com. So be sure to go there and check that out. So now to move on to our topic for today. Now this actually came up over the last week or so. This idea has popped up 2 or 3 times for me. And so I thought, you know what, this is a sign. This is something maybe I should do a video or a post on. So that's why I thought I would share this shift in perspective for you today. And the first time it came up, actually, I was listening to an interview between Ed Mylett and Shetty. And during the interview, Ed brought up this idea of a pinata and how that sometimes there can be hidden progress being made and we just don't recognize it. And so let's picture the scenario. A kid's birthday party, and there's this pinata, and it's hung in the backyard from a tree. And the first child comes up, he's blindfolded, he's given a stick or a bat, and he's allowed to take a few swings. And so he hits the pinata a couple times, but again, the candy doesn't spill out of it. So the next child comes up, and this goes on, and you have 4 or 5 kids that take their turns, taking a shot at the pinata. Well, some of the kids may start to get a little frustrated, right? They look at the pinata and the candy hasn't come out yet, and it doesn't even look like they're making progress, right? But there's hidden progress being made with each of these blows. And then finally, one of the kids comes up, and typically the way it works is one of the smaller kids, they take one final blow and the pinata bursts open and the candy comes out for everybody to enjoy the spoils, if you will. And it's interesting, a lot of times that the child that takes that final swing, they're celebrated as the hero, the one who created this huge breakthrough in breaking the pinata. But the question is, was it really their blow that broke it, right? No, there was a lot of progress being made over, through each of the kids taking their turn. And but that final blow, sometimes it looks like all of that progress or that breakthrough happens all at once, but there was hidden progress being made. So that was one example. Another one, and this actually, I've shared this story before and I had an opportunity to share it last week. It was an interview that I saw. It was actually a documentary, and it was on the band Hootie and the Blowfish. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Hootie and the Blowfish, they were a band, a popular band back in the late 80s and early 90s. And during this documentary, the lead singer, Darius Rucker, which some of you may be familiar with that name, he's continued to have success. Anyway, the lead singer was being interviewed, and the person during the interview asked this question. He said, you guys have this new hit single, and he wanted to know what it felt like to have this amazing overnight success. And Darius's response is what stuck with me, because he looked at him and almost with a little bit of a smile on his face, he said, yeah, it only took us 10 years to have that overnight success. So again, this idea of there being progress being made over time, but yet it seems like it all happens at once. So this sort of perspective shift has popped up a couple of times over the last week or so, and that's what I wanted to share. So now you may be saying, well, how does this relate to me and my role as a parent with a teenager? Well, I would invite you to consider that even though there may not seem like there's being progress made, when you have these conversations with your teen, and it may seem like you're talking to them and they aren't listening or nothing's having any impact, underneath it all, their progress is being made. There is hidden progress. And so my encouragement is for you just to stay the course, continue to model that behavior, those good principles, values, and beliefs that you want your teenager to take on. Continue to have those conversations and build connection, and just let that work, sort of erode away, if you will, underneath, and you will be making progress. And interesting, what'll happen, and I've had this happen for us, is that one day your teenager is just going to do something that really surprises you, right? Will take you a little bit off guard, and it's going to be that breakthrough. It's going to feel like it happened all at once, but yet it was the accumulation of a lot of conversations and the work that you've been doing over a long period of time. So I just wanted to throw that out for you to keep that in mind. Like I say, you're going to say, they must have been listening all this time and I just didn't realize it, type of a thing. So anyway, just a little food for thought, something for you to keep in mind as you, just to give you a little incentive to continue to pursue your efforts as a parent. Again, before we sign off today, I did want to remind you that I do have that free resource, those 10 questions you should never ask your teenager, and then those 10 great questions as well. Be sure to check that out at the website. As always, it's truly an honor to be able to serve and support you as you move along your parenting journey. And it is a journey as well, as we all know. So again, it's just an honor to be here. And I really appreciate you taking the time to check out our material and listen to the content that I produce. Your children really do appreciate it. Remember, until next time, a change in perspective changes everything.